Hello guys, and welcome back to Supreme Ruler Ultimate. Today we're starting something a little different. This is going to be Cold War again, just like the last playthrough. This is going to be a co-op Cold War playthrough. Although it's not going to be quite the same. We are trying out a modification from the Steam Workshop called Cold War Enhanced that makes a whole lot of changes, which I will go over with you guys in the playthrough. It's once again me, Narfi, and Shibi. As you can see, I am playing as the demilitarized Japan post-World War II. Narfi is playing as India, and Shibi is playing as Israel. This playthrough idea was hatched by Shibi, who wanted to play Israel and conquer the Middle East. To fit ourselves into this, we decided to come up with our own ideas. Narfi picked India to try to build them up and utilize their potential and dominate, generally speaking, Asia. And my goal is to remilitarize Japan, hopefully conquer a lot of the Pacific, and maybe even go into the Americas and other parts of Asia and see where we go from there. Who knows, maybe we'll be going after China and the Soviet Union. Let's find out. And unlike the PvPs, I have done absolutely no practice or research to figure out what I should be doing to start. Alright, so it's time to get the country set up. Taxes, max. Spending, I'm going to put everything to the recommendeds, except maybe social assistance, we'll see. We have no military to speak of and no military production, so we don't have any of those costs incurred at the moment. Social assistance doesn't look too bad right now. I'll turn it on for the time being. We might get rid of it later. Oh yeah, also I will make sure to support you guys right here at the beginning.
I don't think I have enough money right now to support anybody.
Well, once...
I'm not in game, by the way.
Wait, you're not?
Wait, what?
No.
Oh, okay.
What? Whoa.
Oh, let's redo it then.
Oh wait, now I'm in game.
Oh my fuck, I just left.
Oh.
It just switched.
I literally just left.
It's took them a while to load up. It's okay.
Oh my god. As I was saying, I'm going to start by supporting you guys from the very get-go. Support me whenever you feel like it.
Oh, for sure. Oh my god, my tech. My tech is so bad.
Yeah, early game tech is usually pretty bad, especially for these countries. We're all pretty behind, that's for sure.
That's just a mutual trade agreement.
I have one research facility.
I do too.
Looks like we're gonna be buying tech, boys.
Or, you know, Japan could just, you know, give us what you have right now. Be a friend, Japan. You may call
I barely
that
have any more than India. Yeah, I'm ahead of you guys by like 4 techs, and that's it. My tech stopped at 1946. Oh god, improved power grid. Oh god.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Yeah.
We need improved power grid. I'm just gonna put some non-tradables in the research for right now. I don't really have to look at much else for the time being because I don't have any military production, so I'll go over that later. Locking all my ministers off from everything for the time being. Making sure I'm not selling any uranium at all. I'm not making any, but make sure I'm not selling any too. I'm not gonna sell any military goods. Once again, I'm not making any, but I make sure I'm not selling any. I'm gonna build it up eventually. Of course, it's gonna be necessary. I don't have an intelligence academy or a security bureau, so that's great to start. The US has some troops starting in Japan because they were technically occupying at this point. Japan was not independent. However, they are just going to leave. I already know. The AI does not keep these troops here. They're going to be gone. There is or was an Australian unit as well, but I think it's already left. Does Australia have permission to be in my territory? Oh yeah, they do. Full transit. We start out allied with America, so I'm definitely going to try to suck up to America and make them like me more. Not to mention probably everybody else in Europe. Since I start out allied with America, generally speaking, I think NATO in general is going to be a friend for technology and units and maybe some designs as well. We'll see how it goes. The first change this mod does that's going to have an impact generally in the area of me and Narfi is that Formosa is still at war with China. The ahistorical ceasefire that BattleGoat put in the base game does not exist in this mod. So they're actually just going to stay fighting each other, which is actually kind of interesting. So interesting, in fact, I might want some line of sight. Let's just go for friendship and line of sight with Formosa so I can see any fighting that will be happening over there. All right, it was like 38 million, and they've accepted it, and now I can see into Formosa. And see, there's not a whole lot of fighting or anything right now. If China does try to invade Formosa, I know probably the US Navy will come assist them. And we've already seen what happens when China tries to invade Formosa. When I played this with Dema, when I was the Soviet Union.
Should we form an alliance going with each other?
Yeah, I got your treaty Shibi, and I sent sons to Narfi. Yeah, Israel has like no fucking money at all at the start. You're just broke, even with support. The US troops are already starting to leave Japan. No, don't leave me. Interesting. I start out with an AT design that I don't even have the research to use. What the fuck?
Oh, that's funny.
I don't even have tanks or artillery. I have nothing.
I'm missing so many World War II techs in terms of non-tradables. Oh man. I have an electricity shortage at the start of the game, which makes it hard for me to produce finished goods, of which I produce a lot of finished goods. I have like not nearly enough of any unfinished goods, any raw materials, including electricity. So that's going to be fun to fix.
Yeah, electricity is the only thing I actually have a surplus of. The only thing I
man.
have a surplus of.
I have consumer and indie goods
Oh,
production,
and
like a good amount of it, but it's just my electricity and my raw materials are terrible.
And agriculture. But we all know what happens with agriculture. It becomes
That
utterly
shit gets cheap.
useless.
Oh yeah, how's all of our GDP in the world? Let's see. So India has the worst of us with 128. I have 389 and you have 589. And in comparison to things, we are all broke-ass bitches generally in terms of GDP, regardless. Israel is actually in the upper echelon. The uppermost of the echelons, though, is just, you know, ridiculously high. Like 4 times higher almost. Roughly 3 times at the moment. You're about on par. You're like $100 ahead GDP-wise compared to the Soviet Union. And that's Israel. And then India is just down there, still ahead of China, and I'm in between you two guys. Where even am I on this list? There I am. Yeah, I'm in the middle. I'm actually, in terms of countries, I'm roughly in the dead middle of the list. So we're very diverse nations here. India is going to be the producer, though.
The average world GDP is 410.
Okay, so only one of us is above the average world GDP then. God, Japan starts out with literally almost nothing of anything. Like, their infrastructure is so simplified right now in this era in general. Well, let's get started. Ooh, there's agriculture here. I'm not gonna want that there. I'm gonna get started making some hydro on some spots where we already have some hydro. Just fill in the rest of the hex and test that by itself and what effect it has on our economy, which right now is at 4.3% inflation. It's definitely gonna go up now, but I don't think it's gonna be too much of an issue. One day past that 4.6. Okay, maybe it will be an issue. Who knows? But I'm Japan. I don't have a military to pay for, so I assume that I can afford this stuff. But I'm going to start small and not go excessive like other playthroughs where I'm building 100 fucking hydro plants at a time. I just cannot afford that. Either way, improved power grid will grant me more in like 2.5 years anyway. But having a good base of hydro plants, I think, would be a good way to get started. And our total amounts of hydro plants we can get here is actually somewhat limited. I also start out with an excessive amount of like seaports and sea piers around my country, just due to, I guess, well, it being an island. I know I'm probably gonna get rid of every fucking sea pier that I see. Just keep seaports. Add more later if I need to. Agriculture is already unprofitable to sell, so I'll probably end up either scrapping or turning off all this agriculture. We could start by just turning it all off. It may come in handy later, we'll see. But for now, just to reduce costs and get a little more efficiency, just scrap it. As for rubber, I don't know. We are importing rubber, which we need to. We don't make enough by synthing it. We don't have any here. We could maybe go get some from somewhere eventually, but not at the moment. There's some pretty easy to take rubber in Central America. Yeah, this mod adds rubber like all over the map. It does a whole bunch of things to improve the scenario, make it a little more accurate. Why am I hearing shooting? Oh, because the Navy of Formosa is engaging China already. Interesting.
Fuck me, everything is so expensive I can't even build anything.
Yeah, as a tiny country like that, you need to be making mids. This is what mids are for. Countries that are this tiny and this poor off the bat.
Yep. And then upgrade it later on.
Yeah, or just, you know, leave it and start building new stuff later. Depends how it goes. But yeah, usually, Israel just falls apart financially when an AI plays them. If you give them enough time, they just go completely broke. So I'm very curious to see how you handle this.
Yeah, me too.
I'll handle it. I'll handle it.
And yes, luckiest country supporting him.
Yeah, but even then, I remember Shibi when you were Boris Johnson and your finances were not very good.
And that was the UK.
And that was the UK, and you're Israel now, so I hope your finances have improved.
Actually, they kind of have a little bit, believe it or not. Not really running too bad of a deficit. Keeping it like on par.
I'm gonna try to connect some of these islands of Japan that are not actually connected by default. I'm gonna set Curry up here with a connection, and I'm gonna move the road down to Imabari. I can't say Japanese names. Also gonna do the same over here. Take this road, move it down there, and then move this across to Kita. That will make a bridge. We can get rid of this road right here. There's a mixture of roads and rails. I'm just kind of connecting to whatever's on the other side to connect to. Over here, I could potentially connect it to a rail if I can actually make it across here. Yeah, I can make it across here. Okay, let's connect this side to a rail, why don't we? Actually, I could do this a different way. Connect it directly to a railroad. Like so. Still 2 bridges, and it connects right down the middle as well, which could allow me to, I don't know, use this for something sometime. And then there's also up here up north where it's a mixture of rails and roads, so I guess I'll just do rails. Connect down here, go like this. A lot of this over here is land, so I don't really need to make another bridge. So that should be no bridges yet, connecting right down to the current rail line system. People are already offering to sell me many things that I have none of. I'm not making any coal at all. That's insane. So everyone's trying to sell coal to me right now. Our current inflation is at 5%. It is still going up, that's for sure. My only military goods production right now is a mid. That's gonna have to change eventually. I'm going to get started on my military production by making some military goods production facilities. I'm gonna try to not overdo it. I'm gonna start small. We're just gonna do 1 hex and then leave it alone for the time being. 1 full hex is maybe a lot, but I'm not gonna build much of anything else while this is all building. And then when it's done, I'll have a good amount of production, and then I can slowly start to actually get some fabrications up. The fighting is progressing over Vietnam. This is also going to be different. There are actually scripts for both of the first 2. They left out the third. Indochina wars here. So around the historical end date of this war, which I believe is 53, they will check how much progress North Vietnam has made, and depending on how much it makes, will determine what script fires. Now, assuming that they're going to push out nice and fine and take over to about down to here, North Vietnam will become independent. South Vietnam should end up becoming independent maybe later, but I believe Laos and Cambodia will also become independent, and then right around the time of the Second Indochina War, aka the Vietnam War, a script will fire off to start that, though I don't know how well that's going to go. They actually gave North Vietnam some land production to start, which is new. South Vietnam doesn't have any. I wonder if he scripts it to have some later. I'm not sure, but I can't imagine he can properly script America to go all the way across the globe just to help out here. I don't know if that's possible, or if it is, I still just kind of doubt that he did it, but it definitely will be interesting to see these scripts in effect. And more pressingly, with the Korean War that's going to happen with South Korea versus North Korea, I believe South Korea is still going to die, because I don't believe North Korea is scripted to help. As you can see, the border is actually the historical parallel border that they had at the time, instead of the one that the developers at Balgo decided to give them that looks a little cleaner. I do imagine South Korea will fall. I'm certainly not going to help them survive, because, I mean, either way, if they die, what's the worst that happens is that later I just take over North Korea by myself. So that's fine by me. Also, the loyalty, that's it. For them, the loyalty changes. That's another thing in Vietnam, too. Whoever wins their wars, there will be a script to change the loyalty of these countries to that of the winners, to make them more efficient. So likely this will just be one big North Korea. I'm gonna get all the friendship treaties with South Korea because I don't believe they're gonna live, and even if they do, it'll be nice to have them as a friend. Oh my god. Japan has designs for submarines that serve as short deck carriers and can load units from land and then load them like amphibiously. So it's like a carrier, a submarine, and a transport for naval amphibious landings.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure, but I believe that these are essentially supposed to be the submarines that carried the midget submarines and then deployed them. I believe that's how they converted this into SRU, but I don't know the names historically to be able to confirm that. I'm not gonna use it because it's fucking expensive, but it's cool that that's there and a thing. And yes, my only capital ship is the Super Yamato. Wonderful. Just whenever I get my first naval production, we're just gonna pump out just only Super Yamatos. It's all we need. Nothing else. I'm just going through all the Japanese designs and stuff right now for land and air and etc. And oh my fucking god, it's because like they hit a wall at 46 when they got demilitarized. And so almost everything they have is just this one red star in terms of the game's rating. And so I'm just looking at bullshit, basically, like garbage that doesn't scale well even with my current technology, which even that is dated.
Yeah, well, I don't even have money to fucking research anything.
That's why you buy techs, you weakling. This was your idea.
I wanted a challenge.
Oh, here's your fucking challenge. Was the PvP not a challenge enough?
Nah.
Was the PvP not a challenge enough to you?
But they're all so expensive.
Now we're getting towards the end of the year. My inflation's at 10.6 with the current things I'm building. I'm trying to hold off on building anything new for the time being. I've gone through most of my texts and my designs and stuff. Not that I'm building anything right now. Anyway, I'm completely demilitarized, completely isolated. I'm lucky the US has left any troops here at all. My alliance with them should hopefully scare off any potential enemies. All I have to do now is pretty much just sit back, wait, see where my inflation stops exploding with all my current spending and etc. bringing it up as my values get up to 100%. And my money, however, is doing well. It's not doing the best, but it's doing well. Israel's still out of money. India is slowly running out of money by the looks of it. I wonder why. There's like occasional back and forth air and naval fighting over here between China and Formosa, so that's pretty interesting. Yeah, Formosa's trying to do landings, just like they did in that PvP once they were at war with Shibi, who was playing as China. I don't think it's gonna go quite as well, considering there's not a big US sending them a bunch of infantry that they can utilize for this purpose. But at least it'll keep China distracted, I guess. Or even China's trying to land in Taiwan now, and oh, there goes the fucking militarized Taiwanese military, just, you know, showing up. Oh man. Yeah, looks like China is going to start committing troops, but I know how this is going to go. So long as Taiwan's on the defense, then the Chinese troops are basically just going to rush to their deaths, which is actually kind of cool. Because maybe that means in the long term I might be able to militarize and then fight China myself. Man, there's not enough rubber.
Oh, I know.
There's no market availability right now whatsoever, and I didn't even turn off my synths.
I'm building some rubber.
Oh, good.
Good. We need more in the world. Build everything you have and export it. I'll make like my first military conquest someone that has rubber. Although I don't have a military, so that might take a little bit.
It might.
Yeah, I have literally 0 troops, so it's gonna be a minute.
I just directly bought some from fucking Britain. I bought like 2,000 tons. They got plenty. Just have to buy it directly. Speaking of which, I might want to buy another because I'm running a wee bit low.
I will buy 100,000 tons.
Don't you dare.
I already sent the offer. I already sent the offer, motherfucker. Like, I don't think you understand. You can't even afford this much. I paid more than your whole fucking treasury.
Oh, you're right.
With my infrastructure spending going up, looks like my timber is getting under control, and we're actually going to have enough timber. Agriculture is still like a maybe thing. With me turning off all the agriculture, we are not actually making enough. However, it's not profitable to even make anyway, so I don't mind importing it. I'll probably set it up to be imported here shortly. I should probably do that right now, actually. Yeah, fuck it. Let's lock it off. Let's turn off all of our production for it. And let's just set ourselves to buy a whole fucking bunch of it, huh? Bam, just set to buy a fuck ton of agriculture, much cheaper than making it. And that might help my economy get to a little bit of a better spot as well. Looks like our military production is finished, so we are now making military goods. And in fact, I'm already the 3rd largest producer of military goods in the whole world. How the fuck is that a thing? Let's get rid of the mill mid anyway. We don't need that anymore. Our hydro is still building, and it's going to take a while to build. Hydro takes a while to build. Again, the improved power grid will help as I build more factories and stuff that need electricity, however. And as my population goes up, it's going to get harder and harder to actually maintain this. Right now, pretty much everyone wants to buy consumer goods from me and sell me coal, so we're gonna need to get all this stuff under control. Getting coal production going is actually not that hard, though. It's a very easy resource. You only need a few coal mines usually to get yourself going. So let's get on this little railroad here and put down 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put down 6 coal mines. I remember this being enough for me even in modern day, so maybe I shouldn't make so much at once, now that I think about it. Maybe I shouldn't make this much at once. Maybe we just start out making like 2, and then we see what that does, and then we slowly ramp it up from there if we need to. We have very little oil and no ability to use any of our offshore oil yet, so oil is going to be a problem. However, it's very cheap and easy to buy right now. The oil boom hasn't happened, and yes, the oil boom of the 60s is actually scripted into the game now. The creator of this mod actually scripted it in, so that's actually really cool. I bought like a year and a half's worth of agriculture for the market, and the price went down. What the fuck? Insurgency reported in British Malaya. Ah, well, it's just a colony, so I don't really need to react to that. Oh, we're at the labor shortage, guys. Our inflation's that high, 14.2%. This is where I'd want to go to war to, like, get it under control, but, yeah, I don't have a military to do that with. Well, guys, I've already hit a labor shortage. I have 14.5% inflation and 3% unemployment.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, look at India. He's worse.
Yeah, we're the same.
Although you have more unemployment, so you're not in a labor shortage. You got higher inflation. Because you have so much fucking population. That's what I blame.
Yeah.
You can build up even more. Have fun affording that inflation. Looks like you're doing a good job, though.
Yeah, I'm almost there. I'm at 8% inflation, 4.5% unemployment.
My inflation's still just going up. Unemployment's still going down. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. Hey Narfi, your home country, it currently has the most debt in the whole world in this game.
Sounds about right.
What do you mean, sounds about right? What do you mean?
$1 billion. 1.1 billion.
They have as much debt as they have money. Maybe all their money is debt. Oh my god, the GDPs are fucking inflating so much. The highest was like 1,800. It's now like 2,800. Israel's gone from like 500 something to 693. I'm almost caught up to Israel. If I just hold this inflation for long enough, I can become the richest country. Mwahaha. I see the, oh my god, the Israel treasury has just halved.
Yeah, build something.
Oh no. A single coal plant. Why aren't you building the smaller ones?
Actually, it's an ore mine.
Oh yeah, that was already building? Okay, why aren't you building the smaller coal plants though? I feel like that would be a lot easier on you.
Yeah.
Guys, look how well North Vietnam's doing.
Wow, they got 175 million. Congratulations for them.
No, I mean, war-wise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 71 kill.
Yeah. They're going, and they're very close to taking Laos. They're pushing out. See, this mod being spun off from like 2016 SRU, it's spun off from before North Vietnam was made completely fucking useless and just, you know, them just sitting around the whole time. I imagine this was after France was fixed to not suicide into the Soviet Union, but who can really be sure? I think I might get some treaties with them just to see. Okay, I do not see them suiciding troops into Leningrad. That's good. I love it. I love how they are just so bad at routing troops to Indochina to fight the first Indochina war that they just pretty much disabled France's ability to send anything over there at all. As a result, you know, the Indochina War is kind of like one of the least interesting wars in the whole Cold War setting, which is funny because in Supreme Ruler Cold War, France actually was really, really good about sending troops over there. And so it was the most interesting one because they always had loads of units going up against the guerrillas. And oh my god, they lost so many units. They were terrible, but it was historically accurate. I miss that version of Indochina. That was so fun, just seeing like millions of casualties of the French fighting the North Vietnamese. That was so funny. I miss those days.
You just like when the French are killed.
No, I like when the French are useful, because usually they're not useful anymore.
Yeah.
My PvP with Shibi aside.
Yeah.
Massive inflation rates aside, my money is doing all right, so I think I'm going to get started on military production. I'm going to set up my usual one island setup. I'm going to set up 3 land productions, 1 air production, and 1 naval production. Now this is probably a lot to be doing all at once, but once it's done, it's pretty much all I'm going to have. I'm going to leave it like this for a while, and it's just going to be a nice, slow, steady way to start producing my own military with what I have available to me right now. And since my money is actually doing so well, and I don't expect to actually get any research centers from conquering, at least not anytime soon, I think I'm going to start building some of my own research centers. We have one in the southwest area, we have one in the middle. Let's go ahead and make a research center somewhere up here in the north. Maybe right here in Sapporo. Let's go ahead and buy another, like, 200,000 tons of rubber from the UK, because this seems to be my main way of getting a reliable supply of rubber. I'll probably go ahead and just turn off all the rubber synths for right now to help cool down my economy a little bit, since I can just get away with buying. I'm gonna go ahead and lock it off just to make sure my AI doesn't sell any, because he is selling some, that cheeky little bastard. And I'll just get my rubber by buying it directly for the time being, and see how that works out for me. Which, you know, same thing with agriculture, of which I'll go ahead and buy more, because the price is still dropping. Holy crap. That's gonna do a rebound later. North Vietnam wants to buy military goods from me. That's funny.
You would think they had enough.
Yeah, right? What happened to all the shit they were getting sent?
Oh, I'm about to hit 3% unemployment.
Hey.
The world.
I can't even, like, declare a war to try to get my inflation down, because I don't have a military.
I have a military, I just don't have any military goods. That guy has none.
Thankfully, I'm at least affording my inflation pretty well. So that's nice. Go ahead and buy some more rubber from the UK, and I'm also going ahead and trying to get some treaties with them as well. Inflation 17.7. Unemployment 2.5. Oh my god.
I'm at 11.5, unemployment 3.4.
I have to lower my spending because the inflation is getting out of hand.
Oh, come
What
on,
is
you
that?
gotta join the club.
What does that mean? Out of hand, he says.
It's 18%.
Yeah.
Oh.
That means that you have 82% left to go. And then you hit the jackpot. It's called the hyperinflation lottery. I had to really think in my head. I had to really think, what the hell? Like, how do I get 100 from 18? I was like, is it 72, 82? All right, I'm gonna say 72. Wait, no, I don't think that's right. Maybe it's 82. 72, 82, I don't know. Shit, I'm just gonna say 82 and see what happens.
You were right.
Oh, nice. Actually, my inflation's going down now. Nice, nice, nice. I think I've stabilized my economy, guys. It's looking a little bit better.
Okay, did naval production always take a full year to make one? I really feel like the times to make, like, aircraft production, 330 days. This doesn't feel right. I think the mod has modified the production times of this, because there's no way it takes this long. There's no way that, like, while we were playing the PvP and I kept checking China's production, that I was missing somehow the production of so many things. When even land supposedly takes 135 days, I think he really, really bumped up these numbers in this mod. Because I started making my usual setup, and oh my god, I don't remember it ever taking this long. It must be a mod thing. The US keeps withdrawing its troops from my territory. You're supposed to be occupying me right now. Protect me! Get your butt over here and protect me!
What, you think North Korea is going to take the South and then invade you next? Yeah, you'll be fine, you big pansy.
Mom's a pansy. Bitch.
Ooh, scathing.
You've said exactly that to me before.
And I keep willing because all you do is make your mom jokes.
Your mom keeps making your mom jokes. Let's scrap some sea piers and stuff that we have all the way out here on these islands, and airfields. If anything, I can make seaports and air bases there later to make proper bases out of them, which, you know, will happen. Those 2 coal mines were not enough. The original 6 I was going to make might actually have been the perfect amount. So let's go ahead and make another 4 more, and we'll see how it works. We should be just about positive on coal once we finish these mines. Just 6 should be enough for the time being. And we're actually not positive on timber anymore.